Hello, Pre-Algebra. Happy Star Wars Day. Today we've got lesson 13.3. We are going over the area of circles. Some of you might say, oh yeah, I remember this. Excellent. Hope you do. Again, I'm going to be going through it, taking it maybe a step further than you guys have seen it before. But I think we're going to do just fine. Okay. So remember, the area of a circle. Well, first off, let's talk about pi. The ratio, we know ratios. That's when we compare things. When we compare the circumference, right, that's the outside. Hey, that's the outside of a circle. Compared to its diameter, the distance across, the ratio between the outside and the distance across for every circle is always pi. That's just the way it is. And yes, some of you might have been like, whoa, that's a cool coin. This is a coin from New Zealand when I went. So it is pretty cool. I don't know how much. 50 cents. So it's not worth very much, but it looks cool. Anyway, for the formula for area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. Now, we only use the radius. For circumference, we could use the radius or the diameter, not with area. It just doesn't work like that. We need the radius in order for this formula to work out. But that's pretty easy because the radius equals the diameter, or one half the diameter. So if you just take whatever diameter you're given and divide that by 2, easy money. All right. Here, the examples, the pictures, the radius, remember it's just halfway from the midpoint to the edge, whereas the diameter goes from edge to edge through the midpoint. That's not what we're concerned with. But here are some examples. So let's say we are asked to find the area of a circle with a radius of 3 kilometers. Okay, units are kilometers. Units end up being squared when we talk about area, even with circles. So again, we take pi r squared. We plug in what we have. Pi times 3 squared, plugged in the radius, which is pi times 9. Now, with pi, you can almost always use 3.14. And yes, after you multiply it, you'll get to 28.26. So that'll be 28.26 kilometers squared. Sometimes it'll ask you to round to the nearest tenth. So that's 28.3. So you just need to make sure you're following the directions. If, let's say, on your calculator, you do 9, and let's see, I must have a little fancy button for pi. Do I? Oh no, this is just totally embarrassing because I don't have. How do I not have pi? That's stupid. Well, I guess I don't have pi. Oh well, I tried. That's ridiculous. What kind of a calculator doesn't have pi, stupid thing? Yes, I did just throw that. Okay. Yeah, it is good practice to round to the nearest tenth, unless it's otherwise specified. Also, guys, don't forget your units. Oh, don't forget, weirdo. Don't forget your units. Okay. Number 2, find the area of a circle with a diameter of 5 meters. Again, reading every word carefully, we realize that this is our diameter, which is this guy, and not our radius. Our radius is what we need, not the diameter. So our radius is going to be 2.5 meters. Okay, so plugging that in, our area is going to equal pi times 2.5 squared. 2.5 squared is 6.25. Pi times 6.25 ends up being, well, after you multiply it all the way through, that's a lot of multiplication. Aren't you glad that you guys are able to use calculators while at home? 19.6 meters squared. It's about, right? So that's why it's the approximation, approximately 19.6 meters squared. We say approximately because it's close enough. This would be as if I gave you $19.60, but not the 2 pennies that you had. Do those 2 pennies really matter? Not really. I could hear somebody saying, yeah, they do. Give me my money. It's like, okay. All right, moving on. Right, this should all be familiar territory for us. This shouldn't be unfamiliar, but this is where we're going to kind of step it up with the difficulty. So we're going to do this with shaded regions. So let's say, first off, this is our example. So we want to find the shaded region. Well, the thing with this is we have 2 different circles. I've got this circle on the outside and this circle on the inside. What's nice is for the circle on the outside, I'm given this radius, 6 meters. And then for the circle on the inside, that's 4 meters. Now, I can't just subtract them to find the shaded region. It doesn't work like that because the shaded region is on the outside. So you can't just subtract and do one. What you need to do is you need to find both areas. And after you have the areas, then you subtract. Don't subtract radius or radii. Don't subtract radii. And solve for one area. The reason why I stress that is because that's what I would have tried to do when I was in middle school, and it just doesn't work. Okay, so after multiplying it all the way out, we end up with, right, so 36 meters squared is the outside guy, right? 6 squared is 36. 4 squared is 16. Subtracting that, I get 20 pi. 20 pi is 62.8 meters, which is the area of the shaded region. Okay. Here's another example where we have a square with a circle on the inside. Now the circle is touching all 4 edges, so the side of the square equals the diameter of the circle. The circle is touching this edge and this edge with a straight line, and therefore the same straight line that goes from edge to edge, it doesn't matter if it's on the top edge, the bottom edge, or the middle. So it's the same line, the diameter and the side of the square are the same. So what we need to do find both areas, square and circle, and then subtract. So the area of a square, as we remember from last week, is side squared. So 8 times 8 is going to be 64 feet squared. And now we need to find the area of the circle. Well, again, area of the circle is pi times the radius squared. So the radius is going to be half the diameter. My radius is going to be 4 feet. Therefore, the area is 16 pi, which 16 times pi. Pi. That's equivalent to 16 pi. That's what I wanted to do. And once we subtract those, 13 point, that should be 7. So area of shaded. All right, guys. Well, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I would be happy to help you. And otherwise, enjoy your day. Love you. Bye.